Good afternoon. Here we are. Goodness me, 380. You know, sounds like, I don't know, 180, but 200. Well, what are we doing? This is great, isn't it? It's not going to be long now until we reach that 400 mark. And I'm hoping that you're going to be with me to do that. And yeah, I think we definitely need cake for that day. So what have I got for you today then? A regular size tile, and it's what the sorbets, it's the pink. I've not done anything to it, so there's no ink on it, nothing like that. And although it's nice to do that and put some background in, sometimes it's nice just to go in with a fine liner pen or a pencil and actually just put something on there, isn't it? So are you ready for this? What do I have with me? I'm actually in my office, which means I've got everything to hand as such. Pen, pencil, tortillon, white pencil, white pen, coloured pencils, you name it. It's lovely having everything here now. Okay, coming in with pencil, apart from a pencil sharpener. I think there's about 6 all over the place, but I don't have one right here. But it doesn't matter because it's fine. So first thing I'm going to do, and of course if you want to, you can do it the opposite way to me. As you know, left-handed, which means everything goes this way. But if you want to do it this way, that's absolutely fine. Hi there everybody, lovely to have you with me. Come on, we've got this. How are we getting on with the Craft Ember one? I know after last night's tile, I know I'm doing something a bit different with mine, but I just want to give you a bit of inspiration with it. I think it's kind of nice to see what else you can do, but they're looking fabulous. I must admit, they're looking fabulous what you've posted. Okay, a little bit of a road there, all right? And I'm going to stick with pencil for now. Let's just go in a little bit larger. Okay, I'm going to start here with a bubble. Not too long, so it's sort of more of a part bubble. Okay, then I'm going to leave a bit of a gap, you know, a little bit more of a gap than perhaps I would normally do if I was doing this tangle. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to leave another gap. Again, see, I'm just leaving it a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. I don't want to make them too sort of wide. I want to keep them quite close. And then another, see, so rather than going wide like we normally would, I want to keep them quite close, you see? Let's just get rid of that line. Okay. And then last one, probably last one. Go a bit bigger. This is quite a large piece. Okay, so we've got those going along there. Okay. So if I look at the other side now, I'm going to, when I say reproduce, something similar that side, you see? And then here, that way. And then this one. And this one. See, just using that. It's almost like you've got like a lozenge shape going underneath it. And into there. And there. So I've got that kind of a thing. Okay, so let's switch over to pen. What have I got here? I've got my 03. I'm going to use that one. And then here we go. I'm going to start at this end. And what do I want to do? I want to actually bring this along here and I want it to join there. Like that. All right. And then here, I can bring this over and it's going to join. Because that one is going to come round and join there. And then I've got that shape also there. All right. So let's do that again. So there's a couple of ways we can do it. So I've literally I did that one first, but if I wanted to, I could come over this one into there. And then along and into there. And then this is going to come down and round to there. Yes, Carol, I'll be putting all the new stuff on the website as soon as I've given everybody a chance to catch up here with the packing, because we're still getting through some of that, and I don't want to sort of stress everybody out more than I need to. But they'll be in hopefully this week at some point. There you go, let's have a look at this then. Okay, so we've got this sort of row working its way out and around. What I want to do with that now is come in with dealing with this. So of course I'm going to come up to there, stop, and then along this one and stop there, and then along here and stop there. So if I just carefully remove that line that's in there, okay, so you can see where it's sort of making its way around, and same thing here, look, there, and that one, and that one there. So we've got this sort of little, almost little tunnels, aren't they, going through. Just make sure that before you rub out that your pen's okay and it's not going to sort of smudge anywhere. It gives me that. Let's just do it. Okay. So let's have a look at these little bobbles here. Now, usually we would actually come on through and fill it with ink. And there's quite a large area to do that with. So what I thought would be quite nice to do today is to actually come in and start in the middle, is fill it with lines quite close together. I see, and then on the other side as well. And here. Our orders are being packed, so Yodel's just been and collected quite a few, and they're still going. Thank you so much, everybody. It was really kind of you to order last week, especially with it being a 2-day event as well. I know that you have to pay postage each day, so I really appreciate your support there. Of course, Sanntangle now, well, the brand is 4 years old. It seems like it's been here quite a while, but still very young. But we love it. And as long as we love it, we can keep going, can't we? So, of course, if you wanted to, you could fill this with ink, but again, it's nice to do something a little bit different. Oh, I know, Pam, it is a bit funny, isn't it, with no tiny tiles? Why not go back and do the Advent ones from last year or the year before? Or as I said last night on the video, you could actually, you know, pick on little bits and maybe say, right, I'm going to colour this tile today or this section today. And you can take it on. I know, Sue, we should celebrate, shouldn't we? Because I know some of you have been with me from that very first sort of one. And honestly, even before that, when I was doing colouring books. So you've sort of seen the journey and how things have grown as we've moved along. Well, thank you. We are friends. It's a long time to know somebody, isn't it? Especially through what we've all been through. Okay. Oh, very nice. I actually went through a few little bits last night of what you can do, so it's worth a little watch. You don't have to do it, but it's worth a watch. Okay, let's have a look at this then. All right, so we've got that sort of going through. And again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a line over the top of these. Quite close. So there's that aura coming on in there. I'm working my way down and along each one. Oh, Sue, yeah, gosh, that wasn't very long. That was, I think, I'm really worried about that first tile because I'd never done a live on Facebook before. And I honestly thought, gosh, what if I do it and nobody watches? I thought, well, okay, it'll be fine. I'll enjoy it. I'm going to draw it. But then it was all about, you know, keeping classes going, I suppose. And then other people joined in and it's just gone from there. It's brilliant. 6,900, isn't it, on the Sanntangle group? Oh, and Sue, yeah, so you just sort of watch and didn't do anything? I bet you're glad now you picked a pen up, aren't you? I bet you are. Well, we are too. You did some wonderful pieces. Okay. Oh, Vicky, you can get it at the class this weekend. There will be some there. Okay, ready with that? So I'm going to start in this middle one here. And I'm going to come on in and I'm going to put a bubble, sort of more of an oval kind of bubble at the top there. Oh, so crazy, isn't it? I know we all do that. We all sort of have those anxiety moments and a bit of, oh my goodness, I can't do this, but we can. Oh, Deborah, I know it's #1. Have you got them then in a folder or do you have them around about, or have you lost some of them, or I don't know, what have you all done with your tiles? There we go, complete row round. I remember we did Kent last year. It was sort of this weekend just gone, wasn't it? And I actually took all my tiles and put them on a load of desks. I think it took about 4 desks, and we lined them all up in order. It's quite something. Okay, you see, we're going to get a little bit smaller as we go round. All right, yeah. Oh, Deborah, I know. I think I did. Was it book 2 or book 3? I think it might be book 3, where I actually did them all as cards, so they're not in my folder. I think I've got a photocopy of them in my folder, and I sort of refer to that, and I sort of wish I hadn't now, and I want to do something with them, but I also want to keep them all together, so I've got a record of them. As I know, there's a few of you have actually, you started a bit later, and then you've gone back to the beginning. Maybe it's worth, you know, looking at the very first one that you actually did, whether it would be that first one or whether it was number 261 or whatever, and actually redraw it and do a comparison and see just how much progress you've made. I bet you'll find it'll look completely different. So that's something you could do in the morning if you feel that you need a bit more time. Pick one. Oh, Carol, I know, that's great, aren't they, those little sort of pockets that you can get 6 on. Well, it's 12 actually if you think front and back. They hold it lovely, don't they? The only thing is that if you're not careful, they fall out. So if you're carrying your folder around, which I don't advise, they could fall out the top. I think I've done that once, and I had to sit and reshuffle them all. Although it was quite nice actually, going back through them and putting them in order. So I think it's about an hour of my time I'll never get back, but it was nice to go through them. Well, they're nice to draw, but they're nice to go back and look at, aren't they? Okay. Okay, yeah, good idea, isn't it? Yeah. And we do actually use them as card toppers. So you've got quite a range of a little gallery there. Okay, you see here I'm filling those little gaps with ink. And then I've gone around, so that's a little aura again, going around. Don't have to be exactly that aura, because these are quite small, but get a little bit of the shape. There you are. How have you, Maureen? Do you know what, that doesn't surprise me in the nicest possible way. Yeah, you and me, very much alike. All right, so bubbles all the way around. Fill them with ink as I'm going there. And they're the same here. Around we go. You see how it sort of forms a little shape as it works its way. And along we go. And again, filling it with a little bit of ink. Okay, and then around those shapes again. So it's just sort of works. That's why I did the middle one first, is because, of course, if any of these cross over, which they might well do, this is actually going to be at the front. Oh, Maureen. Okay, so let's have a look at the next bit. I want to focus on this one here. I'm going to do the middle one first because it's the biggest. And with this one, and then this one, you're only going to get a section of it. So I'm going to come in with curved lines. Okay. That way. I might as well do all of them actually whilst I've got that sort of curve in mind. And this one. So that's gonna, just be careful you don't draw on your desk. I should actually put my board in underneath. Dobby's got it at home. He thinks he's presenter now. He's actually working on showing things, you know, flicking books. so you can get through all the pages. He's been practicing that this week, so there's quite a lot of books that are on my bookshelf at home, well they were, and they're not anymore. So papers everywhere, you know, as you do. All right, so let's go a little bit bigger. And I'm going to come on in with a little square in there. And I'm just going to do that on each one. Don't make these too big. Keep them nice and tidy. Sort of in there, little sections like this. Of course, if you think you're going to see a bit on the end, then follow it through and work it along there. And sort of keep it going. So I'm going to do that on all of them. 1, 2, these. Now you give them the time they deserve. Don't just sort of do a quick flash through. Try and put yourself a little box in there if you can. Give it a little bit of shape. Same on this one. See, this one's a little bit bigger, so you can allow your squares to be a little bit bigger as well. And these are kind of nice little tangles that we did way back in those first sort of days, and kept it really simple. We have actually done this main tangle before, this pattern, but it's in a different format here, so it's a lot larger and things. Okay. All right. Okay, next bit. Oh, so that's a fair point. Okay, I'm just going to put a little square in some of them, not all of them, some of them. Yeah, whatever I've got on Friday, you'll be able to get here from HQ at the weekend if you come in. We'll make sure we've got stuff done, so. Yep. Depends on whether you like what we're doing, and nobody knows. So, okay, just doing a few of them, just it gives it a little bit of a difference. And I know some of you can be a little bit worried when it comes to symmetry. If you want to put one of these in every one, that's absolutely fine. But I'm not really putting thought into where they're going. I just want to have some in there. Oh, Louise, I'm working on it. I'm hoping it's going to be new. How does that help? One item is done, but the other's not quite there yet. But it will be. It will be. Okay. So we've got this in here, and again, usually we'll do like a faux stitch on there, but again, I want to come in with one of those original kind of tangles and put some swirls in. So it's going to come from underneath there, and they're going to start quite sort of clustered together as we go round, and then let's just follow it, and they're going to get a little bit smaller, and this sort of breaking off a little bit as we work our way in. Maybe another one, just a little one. Okay. And then here I'm going to put some on this side. Not as many, maybe just sort of get them to wander off a little bit. So you've got that, it looks like it's going underneath. It does look like the back of a button, doesn't it? See, it's just as lovely as the front. Really pretty. Again, just having these very simple sort of shapes and lines going on there. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to put a few in here, because of course if we're following this sort of idea, it's on both sides, so this would be carrying on. And of course, if you want to do that and you want to extend it, you can do more, and you can create quite a little wave. There you go, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to choose, look at this side, see how you've got that sort of thing going. If you've actually done it so this is going that way, then I would go here. Because what I want to do, I'm going to come from here, and I'm going to come on down and put in a loop, and then carry it on, look, and put another loop underneath. Little dots where it finishes. Right. Could be a bracelet, yeah. Depends, I suppose, on what you want it to be. It's varying, isn't it? See, a couple of little loops. So let's see from these dots, I'm going to bring another one out. Put a little one on the bottom there. So I'm doing the top one first. See? And then the bottom one. Okay, I'm going to a little bit bigger. And let's do that again. Oh. So here we go. I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to come around and I'm going to do 1 and 2. And then this side, 1 and 2. You see where sometimes you get a bit of a messy end? Let's just put little dots on just to finish it off. All right. Sort of around and again. And around and again. So you've got these sort of lovely little variations sort of wandering around. So probably get another one in here, look. Still a little one. It's sort of going behind there. And let's have some bubbles around. Okay. So the temptation is to actually turn it round and do something similar here and have this filled in. But do you know, sometimes it's nice, isn't it, to have a little bit of blank space. So what I am going to do is put a bit of a border in. Now, I'm not going to have it straight, although you can if you want. You can use a straight edge. I'm going to come on in and I'm going to create a bit of a wobble in it. Okay, on purpose. So if you've got a bit of a wobbly hand, go for it. See here, little dot, another one. See, so I'm finishing it there. I'm not going to put any in here. I'm sort of going to start it back off again there. And then along here, bit of a wobble. You see? So it's just this bit to do. So you're always turning it to sort of make it more comfortable and make it easy to draw. Okay. So let's come on in then with a bit of pencil now. I'm not going to be too shy with this. I'm going to put some on. So here we go. Let's see what happens. First things first is this bit. And of course, this is the best way. Now, if I was to colour this way, you see my line's quite straight. But doing it this way, you see it's a little more jagged. And that actually gives it a little bit of a better sort of starting point for when we're actually adding some shade. A little trickier, I suppose, doing this bit, but okay, we've got that sorted. And same here, look. So there we go. And same with this one. And this one, I'm only going to do that one. I'm not going to do the other side because we don't really know where it's going, so that's fine. Okay. And I'm going to come on round and add some pencil here as well. Okay, so you've got that sort of space around the edge. You see? And then inside these, sort of like a little shape, like a little L shape. Oh, we could tell Leslie's back in the building.
Hi guys, I'm back. I'm like a bad penny. Keep turning up.
Well, I'm not saying anything on the grounds I could be incriminated. But thank you very much, Face, for my cup of tea. Oh, I have. It's like a dry house in here without Leslie. Okay, you see, so sort of like little L shapes. And I'm only doing those that I've left without those little squares in, see? Just little bits there. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit on the inside there. I know it's got a bit of a wavy line, but we can still add the pencil, that's fine. And to this one. And just a little bit in those. There we are. And those. So let's get the tortillon out and see what's going to happen with this then. Let's start. Oh, I know, Wendy. I mean, and he does, and he makes a good cup of tea. That was one of the whole points when we got interviews. Can you make tea? Well, I do. Honestly, we're all very busy, so it's not always at the forefront of somebody's mind. He drinks a lot of water and things, so he doesn't think to put the kettle on. See, left a little bit there of a highlight, and just sort of flows beautifully, doesn't it? So although we put a lot of graphite on there, it's moving very easily. There you go. And then into there. See, back and forth. So I don't want it to move too much, just enough to soften that edge. You see, there's a bit of pressure on there because of course it's quite a heavy amount of graphite. Okay, so my little owls, let's go in a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to follow it. See, so it doesn't really need much. It's quite a small piece, so in we go with that sort of shape. Very satisfying actually to do that, because however small it is, it still needs a bit of attention. Okay, and then, oh, see, I missed it there. Tiny little bit of movement there. And into this one. Okay, and then of course around here. So this sort of was graphite for now anyway. Oh, missed a bit. See, going in with swirls here because it can move a little bit on that edge. And along this one. Well, look what I didn't do there. That's because I was busy talking. That's okay, I can come back and do that in a minute. Let's do this bit of shading first. Okay, let's have a look at that. Let's address that one that I missed for a start. And put those lines in. Luckily, we've not put anything else on that side, so that's fine. There we go. Okay, so there's a few bits I've not added colour to. But before I come into that, I'm going to come back in with the edge of that ribbon, if we want to call it a ribbon, and add a little bit more blackness. So I'm just going back over the line. Okay, that looks better. And then white chalky pencil. And preferably one that's already been sharpened. Now, if you're using these for the first time, don't stress over it, because when you try and sharpen it, if you've not put it in the freezer, it can be very brittle and it can break. It's because it's chalk, not regular pencil, so you have to be delicate with it. And put it in the freezer first. I'll allow it to harden up a bit, give it a fighting chance, and then sharpen it. You don't have to sharpen it to a point. You see, this is not a point because, again, it's chalk. It'll just crumble. So you've got to make sure you're sort of taking that into consideration, okay? All right then, so I'm going to bring in, let's have a look. I'm going to bring in some orange. Yeah, pink could be the sort of obvious choice, but I think I'm going to go with orange today. So I've got my white pencil, my clementine, and I'm going to bring in my mid-orange as well. So 3 colours there. If I start with my darkest, and I come in with a little bit of colour on one side of these bubbles. Okay. And you see where we've put those little square shapes? Just put those in. And of course, here it just needs a little bit of shading. Alright. So I'm going to do all one side first and just add in this shade. Of course, if you want to do the other side, that's fine. Just do the same side once you've decided. So even here, look, I'm going to come in and add some, those little, even the tiny ones a little bit, and fill that in. So I'm actually filling it in completely. I'm not going to be blending them, shading or anything like that. It's going to be added in. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it this way. Let's just pull out a little bit. And I'm going to do exactly the same again. So working on the same side. So it's going to be opposite side to what I've got at the top. But bringing it in there like so. See, just a little, it doesn't need much, they're only small. And while I'm here, add a little bit on those little dots there. So in with the next one, which is my mid-orange. Let's go in a little bit. So again, bring in a little bit in. I'm going over the top of the orange, but then coming a little bit further out with it at the same time. And you see how the two are merging together there. Now, if you feel that they're not, you could always come back in with a bit more orange later. But yeah, that's fine for what we're wanting, and they're quite small. Okay, turning it round. Same here. So notice this time I'm not going back in on those squares and doing anything. They don't need it. This is the main bit, so this is where we want that colour being added. Okay. And a bit in that one. And see how that sort of works. And then of course our white, which now we know we don't have to sort of take our time with it and restrict our use, because we've got them now in stock. So you can use white to your heart's content and not have to worry that they're going to run out. There you go. And then this side, a little bit there. Okay. So the white sort of, it's starting in the space I've got left, and it was working its way over the top of the other two colours a little bit and working in swirls. So you've got that kind of effect going on. Just to give it a little bit. Let's have a little look. There you go. Oh, hello, good morning from Canada. I wish it was morning again, actually. I could do with an extra few hours. But hello, welcome. Here you are. So I'm coming back in with my black pen. And I'm going over these lines. See, to give it a little bit of an extra. Sort of a little bit there. Nearly done. I'm going to come in with my black pencil. There we go. And let's have a little look at this. Let's move in. And France as well. Goodness me, we're having, it's a bit international today. I'm sure I've seen America as well. So I'm just going over that a little bit, and then here, just over those a little bit. I'm not going to completely cover it, you see. And then a little bit on this side as well. And again, I'm not trying to blend them in, because I've already got the graphite there doing that. This is just giving it a little bit of extra depth. And oh goodness me, we are. Is that Spain? Oh, this is great. Hi there, everybody. Welcome. So lovely. Who'd have thought, you know, all those, I say all those years ago when we started in lockdown, when I first started doing this with classes, I think I had about 8 people, which was lovely. But how much it's grown. Look at us now. It's lovely that we share what we do and we enjoy it. It's great fun. Okay, so just going over there a little bit. Let's have a little look at that. You see the difference now, having that little bit of blackness there has actually made that stand out and come forward. But not too much, and because we've added the shading on with the graphite, we haven't got to go back in and think about blending or anything like that, but it's giving it that really lovely finished raised effect. Okay, I'm going to come in just a little bit around the frame too. Just in the corners, you see, and then we're going to just ease it off so it doesn't go all the way along. And the same here. See, it's easing it off as it goes around. So the corner look is heavier than that bit there. And same there, like easing it off. Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. I think we can actually just come in with a little bit more pencil. We're going to go back to my regular. I'm going to add a touch, just a little bit on the inside there. I'm just sort of zigzagging it in, just a little bit. You see, just around the edge. Oh, Donna, thank you for joining in the Craft Ember. It's really nice that people have been doing that. I said there are loads of videos you can pick up on, and I'm sure we do. We have posted to Canada in the past, so maybe that's something you want to email me about. I'm sure we can sort something. We do our best. We have posted to Australia and France and Germany and Spain, and we actually did post some items out to the Philippines, and that was different. Took a while, but they got there. So here we go. See, it's not as much graphite as around the rest of the place, but it just gives it that little bit of shadow, and having this colour here makes a little bit of a difference. And I know we've used the dark orange, but I think what I'm also going to do, I think, is have a cup of tea in a minute. I want to bring in a little bit of a darker colour, so I've got a choice of two. And here, look, I've got my claret, and I've also got burgundy. Now, if you look at the two colours, you think, well, they're both quite dark. The burgundy is slightly browner than the claret, so I'm going to use that one, claret. And what I'm going to do, see here, look, add a little bit on the edges where that dark orange was. You see the difference? It's giving it that tiny little bit of depth that we wanted just around them edges there. You see the difference? Okay. Oh, I know we have classes this weekend. Woohoo! It's going to be good, hopefully. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll have a great time. We always do. Do a little bit of tangling, a bit of a chat. It's like friends coming round for the day. It's lovely. So I'll be here. Okay. Sometimes Sarah pops in to say hello, but I think everybody else is going to be here. We actually give Sarah the weekend off because she, we allow her at home at the weekend. Again, look at the difference that's made. So I might as well, while I'm at it, add a little bit. You see, just to one side of those little squares. Sue, craft show, Sue. I'm actually in Edwinstowe next weekend on the Sunday. There's a little charity event there. So you might have seen that out on Facebook. Edwinstowe, gosh, it's a blast from the past. I used to teach in Ollerton at the secondary school. And then my next one, it's Doncaster, whenever Doncaster is. Because, of course, I've got classes here this month. I've got teacher training this month. I've got shows on Hobby Maker and Sewing Streets this month. So it's quite a busy one. And then, of course, it's all the low down to Christmas, isn't it? Goodness me, we're closer to Christmas than we are to summer. All right, so really pleased with that. I think that's lovely. I'm really happy with it. So a little bit of a signature. So whatever you want to do with yours, you see how you've got that sort of going in and out when you think that was just literally a flat piece of cardstock. So it's fabulous. Okay, So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Now, a little bit of a change to the times for Friday. So because I'm at Hobby Maker, rather than try and do a tile there with people wandering in and out every 2 minutes, which is fine, it's lovely, I'm going to do it on Thursday. So same time, but 2 o'clock, but it'll be Thursday this week. So that'll be tile 381. Goodness me. So enjoy this one. Have fun with it. And okay, I'll catch you then. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.